Hi, I'm Titli and the Iceman cometh. It's that time of year when nighttime frosts are a regular occurrence, but I do have to say that considering it's November, we've had some pretty decent weather. When I think about last November, how depressing and grey it was, well, you can tell today there's some sunshine. It's lovely. I'm getting used to the idea that one should expect the unexpected when it comes to weather. In fact, when I used to work for DuPont and somebody had an accident, they were always accused of failing to expect the unexpected. I used to say, how can you possibly expect the unexpected? If it's unexpected, then you can't expect it. And if you did expect it, then it ceases to be unexpected. They never really understood that. Well, I think these tomatoes have had long enough now, and I don't think they're going to ripen. So, time to pick them and use them in some of my delicious green tomato chutney. There's probably just enough here for maybe 1 jar of chutney. You can find the recipe on my website titlisbusykitchen.com, just in case you have a lot of green tomatoes and don't know what to do with them. So the last thing to do with these tomatoes is hack them down. Then I just need to dismantle my little construction here. The state of my jacket needs a good wash. Well, that's it. They've all gone. Nothing else in the greenhouse now for 2013. So you'll just have to wait until 2014 to find out what I'm going to grow next year, won't you? Well, there's just one last thing I want to do with you this year, and that's dig up some of my parsnips because I fancy some more soup. Go deep. Be no wrapping this week. You know, I feel very blessed this week because outside of my immediate family, there are 3 people who are really important to me in my life, and only 3. And you know, we live in a world where Facebook means you can add friends, but they're not friends at all. They're just nosy people who want to know what you're up to. Oh, this is an interesting one. It's a multi-parsnip. It's a functional multi-parsnip. Anyway, this week I've had contact with all 3 of them. I mean, they're the kind of friends who you come to know and love and trust, and you don't have to contact them every day or every week or every month, but a couple of times a year you get in touch, and it's really good to touch base with them, and they feel the same way about you. Well, last weekend in fact, I went off to Lyon in France with my husband, who wanted to go and see some museums there. Well, on the Saturday I took the opportunity to hop on a train and go to Geneva and meet up with my dear friend Jen. Now, Jen and I have probably known each other about 6 years or so. We met in Geneva and we've become extremely good friends. And visiting her was just like old times, really. It was really nice. And then on Tuesday, I went up to Birmingham and had a curry with my most excellent friend, Mr. B, who I've known for over 30 years. We met at university and we have a lot of interests in common. He's one of my true friends. He's my oldest friend. And then yesterday, my dear ex-colleague and friend, Carl, from Frankfurt phoned me, and we talk on the phone about once every quarter or so. So this week, 3 of the most important people in my life, I've spoken to them, and I feel really blessed to have friends like that, you know. Friends who you know are always there for you. Friends who You know, even when things get difficult, will be your friend. You know, I've had some rough times in my life when I've really needed friends, and the people who I used to think were my friends, well, they all just ran away. These parsnips are bizarre, except for one or two people like Mr. B. I used to have a very dear friend called Jane, but in the last couple of years she's gone a bit funny, and whenever I've contacted her, and it's usually been me who's contacted her, I've always felt that the contact wasn't welcome anymore. And there comes a point at which you have to say, enough is enough, you know. Sad really when you lose a friend like that of over 20 years. Very sad. I also feel very blessed because of, well, you guys really. You know, you watch my videos every week and you're leaving such lovely comments. And to be honest, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't do this. I'd just come out and do my garden. But I know that there's many of you out there who enjoy watching my videos and seeing my garden grow. That's quite a big one. But it drives me on. It keeps me going. It certainly doesn't give me great financial reward, but it gives me a lovely warm glow on a Monday morning, you know, when I see your comments. Now, I said I was only going to dig a few of these up, but I'm just going to take these inside and wash them, and I'll show you why I've dug them all up. So, I've got my parsnip harvest, and I've washed them, and this is the reason why I've dug them all up. They're all mutants! I had kind of hoped to have some really nice roast parsnips on the Christmas dinner table this year, but it's not really roastable. Take me to your leader. There's another one here. Yeah, it looks like something that crawled out of the podule in War of the Worlds. So they might not be roastable, but they're definitely freezable and definitely soupable. And you see, it's all starting to make sense now, because the only way that these can be mutant is if the ground is full of radioactive toxic waste, which means that the radioactive gerbil that bit me must have been playing around there, and that's how I got my gardening superpowers. And actually, if you look really carefully, you can see the faintest hint of a radioactive glow in the soil. I love it when a mystery's finally solved. Well, the sun's starting to set, the light's getting low, and I have to say, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but this is the last ever episode of Titli's Busy Garden for this year. Psych! God willing, I'm going to be back in 2014, and I've got some exciting new adventures to show you. There's going to be some changes in the greenhouse. I've got some new veggies to plant. I've got a whole new bed to fill with annuals, and it's all going to be so much fun. Thanks for being on the journey with me this year. It's been a lot of fun. I know I've had a lot of fun, and from your comments I think you have too. My DVDs are available to buy. I'll just give you that hint and reminder again, in PAL format and NTSC format for North American viewers. Whatever you do, whatever your beliefs over the coming month, have a great time, and I'll see you again, God willing, next year in my busy garden.